Now, why we are learning this? More and more organizations are now moving to the cloud, moving to utilize lots of devices and integrated technologies to protect the scale of the technologies. They require people who can help them out for responding and managing to their compliance as well as their security needs. Primary team is of SOC. Now, I'll make it some things clear what to expect in this training. I am going to cover the tools, the concepts, the technologies, the processes that we can follow and would be needed in practical for SOC. We have all the tools that would be required. This is a CrowdStrike tool, an actual implementation what we do in the network. We have Sophos Central, where we would be going to integrate and learn it up every other security things that we wanted to have. So we tried to do different sort of things with the help of Sophos. We have Microsoft Azure, from which we are going to leverage Microsoft Sentinel and do lots of stuff. Some basic on Splunk also would be going to get provided. Apart from it, Curadar is there, and there are tools that we are going to learn by installing into our device on the regular basis. So we have virtual machines that we need to create, Kali Linux, and some testing pieces where we would try to evaluate our skills for the SOC analyst. So this is what you can expect after this. So this is what you can expect, what you can become. You would be becoming a skilled person if you practice. Okay, if you practice, you will be becoming a skilled person who is eligible to work as SOC L1 plus L2. Till L2 we are going to cover in this particular training. Now, what skills or what concepts are required? We talked about tools and concepts. So I showed you few of the tools, but how do we move to learn the tool in a very best way? So there are things that are required to cover. We are expected to know computer networks, that is how does computer works, what are the networking components, how packet travels, what are the level of different attacks that can occur at different levels of networks. So we'll speak on this for few sessions. This would be basics and it will be bit of theory to make sure everyone is in the same level where I wanted to train. So there are certain terms that we need to know before we move directly to the practical. So here, if I show you SHA based detections, at this particular time, I'm going to show you what to investigate, how to investigate. What is this SHA? These things we are going to cover in the basics. So once we complete the networks, we move to the operating systems. Here, Linux is the core. We need to learn the Linux on a good level. So practical, at least 50 commands we need to command. 50 commands we need to know, which includes system commands, networking commands, file permissions, user commands, etc., etc. So that we are going to be very confident with the Linux. All the major operating system utilizes Linux. Even the Splunk, if you install on your local machines, you may require Linux. Curador is installed in the Linux. So there are tools that utilizes Linux as their base OS. So in that case, we are required to know Linux on a good level. So once we complete the Linux, we will move to the security basics. Security basics. Here we are going to leverage all the terms like CI triad, various types of attacks. At least we'll take 5 attacks, and those attacks needs to be covered in the format of how to detect, how to prevent, and how to mitigate any attacks, brute force attack, DDoS attack, phishing attack, web-based attacks, DLP related attacks, etc. etc. Any attack you consider, so that we would now know what things can occur to us, how do we keep secure against those, and how do we recommend or do some sort of consulting towards the client, and how do we have an approach of investigative mind. And then we are going to cover the actual practical, full practical rules. This would be also practical Linux, full practical, basics of security, theory plus practical, and tools all practical. So Curador SIM. So in the tools we have different technologies: SIM, EDR. Um, these are the basics. One sessions of alert investigation would be there that we require on the day-to-day basis. In the SIM, we are going to leverage Curador and Sentinel. In the EDR platform, and by the way, we'll speak what is SIM, what is EDR, end-to-end architecture of it, just to give you a high-level our overview. Whatever in the practicals we are going to cover is these tools, CrowdStrike and so forth. There would be logging platform that is called as Splunk that we already have, plus possible small tools, whatever is required, we will try to do, integrate lots of things inside our machines, so test, deploy everything. So now, what is SIM, what is EDR? If you would like to have few minutes for it, so SOC is a department. So we write in the cybersecurity, a SOC is a department. SOC is called as department. Now that department uses a technology. The heart of the SOC is this. Every technology is prepared by vendor. For example, Microsoft is the vendor. Cisco is the vendor. Sophos is a vendor. Every vendor has products. Microsoft product called as is Sentinel. Cisco's is having Splunk, likewise. So, what does organizations require? Organizations require three things: PPT, people, process, and technology. They require people. People is you and me, skilled analyst or engineer who can work on different platforms for their organizations, different platforms on Sentinel or Curadar for different level of things. So they require skilled analyst engineer who can follow process of incident response, managing SIM platforms, etc., etc. Different types of skills and processes are required on different technologies, on the different technologies like SIM EDR that we discussed. So now, what are the different profile available in the organization? There is someone who is called a SOC level 1. 0 to typical 3 years of experience fits into this criteria. Entry level, first line of defense, works in shifts, and someone who wants to get started, this would be your starting point. Then we become SOC L2. L2 is 3 to 6 years of experience, and they are called as incident responders who do in-depth investigation, customer calls, and helping out their juniors, that are the L1s. This is the typical second task that we need to know. Then there is someone called as SOC L3. They are the experts with 8 to 12 years of experience. So we can say experts, or we can write subject matter expert, that is SME, and they would be working on a particular expertise. Like someone would be threat hunter, someone would be malware analyst, someone would be integration specialist, etc., etc. They work on a very niche. Here there will be highest number of available profiles. Typically, if there are 8 L1s, 8 to 12 L1s, there will be 3 to 4 L2s, and there would be around 1 or 2 L3. There would be a lead who would be managing multiple different teams in SOC, and there would be SOC manager who would be managing entire operations. These are the typical different types of job roles available in the field of SOC. So we are going to leverage our expertise so that you can go ahead and become till this level. This would be still going to get some time, some more time. We are going to show you some basic of L3 operations, but typically if you focus and have a dedication completely end to end till L2, you can start becoming up with the help of practice, and this comes with the help of experience. So you need to be inside the role, do practice and work daily to become a good level of L3 engineer. So that would comes up with the experience and time. However, we can try to become to this level with the help of our skill. So this is what our high level overview looks like. If you guys have any questions regarding any sort of technical perspective, do let me know. I am here to solve all the technical point of view, and later the management team would give you regarding the timing, duration, fees, etc., placement sort of thing. So any technical questions, we are now open to answer. Let me know.
Hey, hi.
Hi,
So
Nani.
regarding, yeah, may I know your name, sir?
My name is, yeah, sorry. Okay. My name is Shubham, and I have around now 8 years of experience working in the field of cybersecurity, managing multiple customers across US, UK, and Asia Pacific. I've been training with Cybervie since long. So, yeah, this is what my profile looks like. Yes.
Yeah, you are Shubham, right? Shubham.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, hi, Shubham. So regarding this training, right? So how much of coding it is involved till the
Uh, no, no
covered
coding.
and
So
okay,
SOC L1, L2 does not require any sort of coding. If you become any sort of integration specialist, a bit of coding, or any sort of automation engineer, a bit of coding is required. Whereas for L1, L2, L3 also, if you are becoming more onto the cyber side, um, zero to less coding is required.
great. So so comparing with GRC, this
Mhm.
SOC is how much it is differed. Uh,
So stock would be fully technical, whereas GRC is non-technical. By non-technical, I means there you don't have to deal with any sort of threats, any sort of day-to-day configurations. So there is a bit of audit point there. So you check what has been there. So you just have a notes, Excel sheets, and your templates that you need to follow for day-to-day operations. So GRC is the later part of the SOC. So whatever we do, they are going to validate on their end whether proper operations are being carried out or not. But here you deal it up with every sort of technologies and threats. So you configure everything, you manage the things, and you work it up. And however, for the coding you may not require, but yes, you do require knowledge about basic of querying. So we are going to query uh, certain things. So we want to get the logs. So here we play around logs, and I have been ingesting the logs. For example, security events. Last 24 hours, let me search. So this is a table. A basic KQL query is there. Um, Let me show you. Yeah, so this is how you have the information, and whatever is happening, it will be going to get sorted out. So we bring the logs and then we query. For example, the problem statement is give me all the logs which are getting login failures by different users. So in the Windows, we have event ID 4624. So we need to write the query and we search it up for different things. Now we are searching 4624. Now if you go to the right, it will give you all the successful logins that are happening. Now we can go ahead and check what are the different users. So computers, account type, and account. So we can write project only, computer, account, and account type. Now only three columns would be going to get you sorted up. Now we want to check the count. So we want to have summarize count by whom, computer or account. Let's take account. Now if I do, it would give me for every account how many successful login happened. So this is a querying that we utilize. So these types of query we would be expected to know. So we are having 3 sessions, or I guess two sessions at least, to learn the fundamentals of making query. So you will be very confident, very easy and very effective to the point queries, what is to be searched and how is to be searched. So coding is not required, but bit of querying is required. So this is what you need to, but it's very easy. We'll read and follow KQL documentation.
got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, hello, good morning. This is
Yes.
like SQL query, right? SQL
Yeah,
query,
yeah.
SQL injection.
Similar to SQL. If you have SQL knowledge, it's very easy because see, Splunk also utilize their own language. So I wrote index equals to star. Then whatever you want to write. So state counts by host, whatever. So we'll see how Splunk query differs, how KQL. So this is proprietary to Microsoft. All the Microsoft products like Fabric, Data Explorer, Monitor, Sentinel. We are here to learn the SIM, that is the Sentinel. All of them uses their own KQL for Sentinel.
Okay.
So there are operators. So this is like tabular operators. So I utilize which operator as of now? Summarize project where we already utilize 3-1. Similarly, all operators that are needed, we are going to cover at least 10 to 12 that are needed for the SOC operations, because this is a very big, it is beyond the Sentinel also, they utilize for their data engineering also, but we do not have to cover those things. Whatever we require for searching, that is more than enough for us.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Yep. Yes. Anyone, any questions? Anyway, we are going to onboard the devices, we are going to create policies around it, and we are going to see the logs, everything in the. Yes, Rakesh.
Yeah, actually, just wanted to ask. You said SOC 2 is incident responder.
Hmm.
So generally, incident responders are not technically sound. So how this can be an incident responder?
Like where you got this information that incident responder are not technically.
Because I am working as an incident manager since last 6 years.
Mhm.
So what we do is we reach out to relevant team and we assign them, and we probe them to investigate the things.
So who is
So
that? Who is that assigned team?
they are technical teams. They are
Huh.
technical security. So if the issue is related to security, we involve security team,
So then,
which is L2,
okay,
which is L2
so
SOC L2.
there may be uh, a wording name for you, but this is a typical words that we industry making in the industry. Now there may be a different small teams, like senior SOC L2, junior SOC L2 sort of things for different organization, but typically this is what your uh, the general term looks like. You may be working as a SOC L2, but you may not be doing the investigations. You may just be like a coordinator sort of things where you put into appropriate.
Yeah, we don't do investigation. Just one second.
Yeah. So that should not be the case. If you do not do investigation, either the term incident responder is wrong to utilize for your team, or else there would be a different terms that you can utilize. So that's what my point is. But typically,
So what we do is we coordinate with the relevant team and we find the root cause
yeah,
and we document it in the
the
service log.
finding of root cause is done by which team? They are called as typically SOC L2. That's what
Okay.
it is. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Mhm. Can you please brief some more regarding L1, L2, and L3?
Yes. So so there are three, first of all, typically roles available inside the market. L1, as we already saw, entry level. So they work 24/7. Now there are three shifts typically. Shift starts, if you take any consideration, morning, evening, or we can say afternoon. And third one is night. Morning, typically hours, every shift would be typically 9 hours. So it starts at 6 a.m. till 3 p.m. Afternoon would start from 2 p.m. till 9 hours. If you add around 11, it would be there. And the night starts at 10 p.m. till 7 a.m. in the morning. So everyone gets 1 hour of break plus overlapping 1 hours. If you check, it completes at 3, but it starts at 2. So between 2 to 3, there would be calls of that is called as handover. Is a process of handover. In the handover, you share the brief regarding what happened in that shift. What are the things majorly according to shift, any customer requests or any sort of new things happened, any new threats got discovered, what are the tickets ID of that, all this information you write it up in the handover and share it to the next shift. So they are already aware regarding what happened in the morning. So afternoon would be also doing the same in the night handover. And
So
the
basically, what they does actually,
sorry,
what is their job role?
monitor 24/7. They would be doing the monitoring of any sort of cyber threats. So here a threat came up. So within a particular time frame, they need to analyze and understand the threats. So now there is a detection being created here regarding this particular thing. So they would be going to get assigned. So this is unassigned. So first thing is to make it assigned. So either there would be a ticketing system or you utilize directly the tool to make it assigned. So now the status is new. You go ahead and do all sort of things. So you can do edit, you check the status into progress, you assign to, let's say I am the owner, or I want to make it analyst, add new tag or any comment, checking by L1, you put it up and update the status. Now detection has been updated. Now the status is in progress. You start analyzing regarding what is getting observed here, whether the alert that got triggered by the tool is true positive or false positive. Detection that was created is a file appeared to be imitating a standard OS or otherwise banging file name launched from unusual location. So it was from C Windows 10 msport.exe. So you start analyzing what is first of all msport.exe. It is a runtime environment that allows JavaScript code to be run on the server side. Onto this particular device, this process was getting observed, and this was the hash of it. You run it up, detections, now hash, any actions has been taken or not, and all this information you are going to get here. And then you investigate and you then put the actions, add a comment and close it up if required, escalate if required, tune it up if required. So that is what our day-to-day operation task looks like. So on the level of experience, you do the initial checking, then they do the deep investigations, and they do more in depth or maybe a different role itself they play for platform management and doing the things outside their operations. So they are not following the typical shifts timing, the L3, but they do the general shift plus they do more value addition task. So that is what you can expect. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Just wanted to know what is the volume of the threats.
No,
The
volume of the
element.
threats depends on the organization. So if organization plus two things, it depends. The number of more log sources and rules you have, and second, how level of tuning you have made in the in the platform. So if you are not having a tuned detection, you may get a very overwhelming. So there is no limit as such, but typically in a tuned environment, the expected ratio is per analyst, you should be getting 10 to 12 alerts in the shift, so that quality alerts should be going to get sorted out. A real actual analyst level of things. But yeah, typically if the alert is not tuned, typically 40, 50, 60 alerts we get per analyst. So that is overwhelming to investigate each and every one. Yes. Any other queries quickly, if I can help you out?
So, sir, so regarding this GRC, right? To get into the GRC, so SOC is the beginning. After knowing the SOC, only we can step into GRC. So
No,
understand
not
it.
only if you know it's good, but like you don't have to know. Like this is a separate branch. If I show you here, domains of cybersecurity, there are different domains itself. So security and risk management, architecture, engineering, communication, security operations. So we are here to know about this particular domain. But if you know it's fine, you don't have to become any prerequisite for becoming a risk management. So that is a separate one. There are different domains. It's like if in the doctor also you have an MBBS, you have the cardiologist, everyone. So if you know certain things of security, you can become any sort of specialist. But in the operations also there are different things. So we are here to become security operations engineer. Yes, you can become after learning this. Anything you know, it would be always going to get beneficial. When you are trying to do audit, you are already aware about how process works, what are rules, what are detections, and so this would also going to help you out. That would be my give you the answer.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm eyeing on both SOC and GRC. So,
Mhm.
can you please tell me what about the openings and salary packages for GRC that we
So
get?
those things
So
would be
compared
given
to
by
the
the
SOC.
management. Okay. Yeah, after this, you have the call with the management itself in the same one. So that
Mhm.
placements and the salary, everything would be given by them.
Okay, comparing with SOC, which is having a lot of openings, SOC or GRC?
Both has pros and cons. You would like see people pay you for working on different shifts because you are compromising your typical business hours with working. So payment would be more, but opportunity also SOC is I guess more as compared to GRC, because in the GRC people who have done 7, 8, 10 years of experience, they move to the audit because they already know what configurations we make. So for them it's bit natural to be an auditor. So it's like a senior profile. If someone is becoming, it would be more easy and convenient for them to do the task.
Got it. Thank you.
Uh, whether we will be covering like identity and access management in
No,
this?
no, no. Identity access management is again the new area in the SOC. So there are different tools being Okta, CyberArk, Microsoft Entra ID. So those things is completely different to provide manage identity, role-based access control, conditional access. These are the different team itself in the network, in the organization, they deal it up. All right. No more questions? All right. Yes, I'm good for that particular time.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.